All right, guys, so at first, I want to start this video by apologizing to you all. I have been underestimating you, meaning my followers, my subscribers on Patreon, my YouTube subscribers, Instagram, TikTok. I always assumed that the real me, the depth of what I've been learning over the past 10 to 12 years, was not digestible by the average person that tuned into me. But after taking more clients this past month, not only did I realize that people are able and ready for this information, but y'all are craving it. And so we're going to rewind a little bit, and I'm going to start setting the foundation to start teaching you about sexual alchemy and the practice of Tantra in the way that I have learned it and experienced it in my body. So when many people hear the word Tantra, they immediately think sex, or they think it's some type of mysterious practice that's done in some foreign country that's completely unrelatable to modern life or applicable to like their personal life. But that's actually not true. But the truth is, just because something has a lot of depth doesn't mean it doesn't have to be relatable. I think that's something we've been conditioned to believe. All of us have the ability to understand mystic and deep concepts when it comes to spirituality because it's literally encoded in our DNA and in our bodies. We all have the ability to access it. Not all of us choose that path. However, Tantra is one of those things that's very deep, but also very relatable. And the reason why is because Tantra is essentially about fully embracing your humanity in order to expand your consciousness, which means fully accepting your body, fully accepting your desires, your urges, fully accepting your life situation, fully embracing all of who you are in order to create a path towards ascension, enlightenment, deeper understanding of divinity. But that comes from a deeper awareness and understanding of self. That is what Tantra is about. Tantra teaches us to fully accept ourselves without shame, to fully connect to our bodies and our humanity. And a lot of us were taught the opposite. We were taught to disconnect from our bodies, be ashamed of our desires, we're taught in order to ascend, we have to deny lots of parts of ourselves because they are unacceptable to, I guess, whatever divine realm we want to be a part of. And Tantra is like, no, that's not how it goes. And if you try to do that path, ultimately you will be disappointed, mainly because you will miss out on the whole reason you were born here in the first place, to use humanity as a vehicle to ascend, to learn, to evolve, to have experiences that awaken you, essentially. Tantra is a spiritual system that teaches us that the body is not separate from consciousness. Your breath, your sensuality, your body, and even your relationships can be a part of your spiritual growth and your expansion. When I say spiritual sciences, I mean a system of practices that help you observe and transform your inner world. Similar to how physical sciences study the external world, spiritual sciences study energy, awareness, consciousness, and human behavior through direct experiences. What makes Tantra spiritual is the fact that it's trying to make you more conscious, more aware, and just more connected to life. That's what all spiritual practices are supposed to do. Even most religions are supposed to be, or were created with the intention of doing that. It's not just about pleasure. It's about understanding yourself enough to stop living unconsciously. So many religions focus on discipline, morality, and transcending the body, but Tantra takes a different approach. It asks, what if the body is actually very sacred? What if your humanity is not an obstacle, but actually a part of your path of growing spiritually? Many of us were taught to reject our bodies. A lot of people feel a lot of shame around pleasure, desire, wanting, even just being in their body, especially people that have religious trauma. They were taught that parts of themselves were dirty, sinful, or just completely inappropriate altogether. A lot of us have been taught that it's dangerous to accept certain parts of ourselves or allow certain parts of ourselves to be a part of our lives. Tantra is not about recklessness, though. It's not about overindulgence. It's about balance. It's about awareness. It's about responsibility. It's about having presence. It's about entering into relationships consciously. And that's an important distinction because a lot of people equate Tantra with sex and indulgence and pleasure and seeing it as a bad thing. But if it exists in our life, that means that it has spiritual purpose, divine purpose. So Tantra teaches us to have balance with it, have awareness with it, not to neglect it or be scared of it. One of the reasons that Tantra can be so healing is because it helps us deconstruct stories that we have been conditioned to believe about pleasure. Pleasure is shameful. Desire is a weakness. Sensuality is immoral. The body is something to control. Sexual energy is only physical. And that just simply is not true. Tantra teaches us that our sexual energy is our life force. It's our creativity. It's our aliveness. It's our passion. It's our emotions. It's connected to our intuition. And when we suppress this energy, we also are suppressing parts of ourselves. A lot of people are not disconnected from their pleasure because something is wrong with them. A lot of people are disconnected from their pleasure because they were taught that it's dangerous or unsafe to feel deeply. So what I focus on a lot in my Tantra practice is sexual alchemy specifically. And sexual alchemy is the practice and the belief that sexual energy can be transformed into creativity, emotional release, divine purpose, and overall spiritual growth and expansion of consciousness. Sometimes what we think is sexual frustration is actually a desire for change, for deeper connection, for freedom, or just having a much more authentic life. Tantra asks us not to neglect, ignore, or suppress that energy, but it asks us to listen to it consciously. But many of us were taught to numb it because of religion and because of the social conditioning that we're constantly bombarded with. Tantra is not about becoming less human. It's about becoming more embodied. It's about becoming more fully present inside your humanity. It's about learning how to hold spirituality and sensuality in the same body. It's about learning how to reconnect with the most intimate parts of yourself and reconnect to the divine in a way that feels authentic to you and your individual self. Tantra encourages us to stop living in fragmentation and to reconnect to our bodies without shame. You don't need to abandon your body to evolve. In fact, what I have learned in my personal experience is that you actually need to learn more about your body and you need to be able to come home to it in order to evolve. So if you're watching this on YouTube, know that I am starting to share more practices around this ideology and understanding spiritual anatomy and sexual alchemy when it comes to Tantra. You can join me there if you want to support me to continue to be able to share this work. And for those of you who are on Patreon, I hope that you enjoyed this because there will be more videos like this coming, more practices associated with this. But no matter where you're watching this, please like this video and tell me if you want to see more content like this, if this resonated with you. And I'll see you guys in the next video.